Welcome to me not talking about guitars, but about, video gear because, it's important because nowadays everyone, including you, is a video creator. It's true. As soon as you post something on Instagram, you're creating a video, therefore you're a creator, therefore you are a micro-influencer. That's how the world is. Oftentimes, you get your phone out and it's all good. That's fine. And it's outside and it's nice. And then sometimes you're inside, and what you do is you turn on the light, and this might be enough. That's what we're doing right now. And then sometimes you have a little light that you get out, or maybe your desk lamp, and that's fine. The further you get in your process as a creator, the more area you might want to light, the more independent you want to be of power. Maybe you want to be outside in the rain. Who knows? At some point, you get into the point where you need something more professional. And a lot of my friends in the YouTube world ask me, what light should I get? What light should I get? Well, they never want to hear my answer because my answer is spend the money. I started with, I don't know if they're here somewhere. We're in the video storage right now of the new studio. It's not, I don't have them here. Cheap panels from Amazon. They look something like this. This is a Manfrotto panel. Does it even turn on? It doesn't. Batteries are dead. Something like this, and then you get a little softbox around it because softboxes are so important. It's just like this glaring light is not pretty. And softboxes is a big thing that we're going to talk about today. So I got loads of these little things, and they weren't nice, but that's what you start with. And then you go to the next level, the bigger thing. And you've probably seen a lot of the Aperture Lightstorm, the LS in videos. You've seen it probably on Olaf's channel and many other YouTube creators with the big domes. And that's actually bang for the buck, pretty good lighting, but such a pain in the ass to set up and such a pain in the ass to find the space for. So many of my friends are asking me, how do I get around the big softbox that is eating up half my room? Because a lot of creators are working in rooms similar to this, rather small. Now, I'm going to show you the differences between a light that is not cheap, $1,000 to $2,000, and then the upper class, where you have a built-in softbox, and they're called soft panels. Now, I have a lot of lights. We're going to get the Aperture that's up there. Down, I have the small dome. I have the big dome. I'm going to show you the differences. I just recently bought these Siroi lights. These are actually rather big panels, and they blow up. They actually have a little pump in the power supply, and they blow up to, quite a big size. Very, very neat. And then I've used these for quite a while for product shots. These are pretty damn cool. I've got these Nanlite Pavo tubes. That's the 30C. And I've got 4 of the little ones. They're all battery powered. RGB lights, very good. The little ones we use to give a little spot for a product shot here or there. I've got 4 of them in a drawer over in my studio. And it's very handy to have. And I have a bunch, well, a bunch means 4 of these. And let me actually show you these in the studio. We're going to take them over and I'm going to show you how to set these up. These are light panels, Astra. These are the 3s, Astra 3. I've got the 6s over in Studio B. I'm going to show you those as well. I'm going to show you the, downside to having a non-soft panel because it's a pain in the ass. Here we are in my main studio, which you might know from, the occasional video. And as I said, I don't really save money on lights. So just my headlight, giving a bit of a halo, is a Dedo D-LED 4 behind me. But this is the big kahuna I've been using for several years. This is the Light Panels Gemini 2x1. So I really am very, very curious to compare this to the Cameo and see where the differences are. So before we get to the thing that I really want to show you, which is a great new light from Cameo with a built-in softbox, meaning a soft LED panel right there, I'll show you these. I have 4 of them. I love the soft case from Light Panels. That is great. Having a case is a good thing. Cameo. On top of these is actually a little pouch. What do I have in here? Oh, light attachment. So these are nice cases, but I absolutely hate these lights. And if I'm going to look over to Leslie, she's probably going to say, yeah, we hate these lights. They're not soft panels. So if I turn this on, it's a very, very harsh light. And maybe for some reasons on set, you might need that. As a creator though, you don't want that. This light by itself clocks in at probably 700, 800 bucks. And then it's the way that it is. The way that you see it here, you turn it on and put the power in. There's a how much you want and on off. These are daylights. These 6s I have in the other studio are bicolor. And there's, power, all good. But you buy this by itself. If you want the soft panel, this is 280 euros. So don't go like, whoa, but these are so much cheaper than the Cameo or something similar. You have to consider buying the soft panel and always putting it on. So putting the softbox on, this thing is 280 euro. And it is a freaking pain in the bum to put on every single time. Okay, so this is how far we got. How do you like this gravity stand? Nice, huh? So here's now this one type of diffuser, that's the half diffuse. You can get other ones. Don't ask me how much they are. I never looked because it's way too much for just a little bit of diffusey fabric. And you put the Velcro on and now we're good to go. That's a pain in the ass. And now look how big this panel just got. It's not very convenient anymore. I've worked with these for a long time. They make very good light. Light Panels is a good company. It is a pain in the bum to put these on. Now let's look at something very popular in the field of creators and YouTube creators because of a very fair price point and general good presentation. It's just set up. If you do it once, it's not a big problem. And space. Now the Aperture LS series comes in a really nice case. Can't bitch about that at all. I have set these up and put them away many times. Taking them on set. Comes with a remote in here. Never used that ever. And this is the, I think, daylight. They come in bicolor as well. So this is the actual light. It's the Aperture 300D2. I've got a 600 over in Studio B, which I will show you later in this video. So you start with setting this up on your mount, and that's technically not a big thing. Now this is the extra power supply with a V-mount on it and another V-mount on it. 2 V-mounts. And in order to have this closer to your light, you can put this on the truss or on the stand. So there's a very cool clippy holder for your power supply. Fold this up. Okay, so this also has DMX, blah, 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 blah. I don't have the power cable right now because the power cable actually is attached to my Cameo light. You have this cable output from the power supply going into the actual light. There's a very long power cable to the power supply. I think it's like 5-6 meters long, but it is in use at the moment. There's also a something intensifier that you can put on the front. So this is all the stuff that comes with the light. As I said, over in Studio B, I have the small dome, okay, which is advisable if space is an issue. But oftentimes we see it with the big dome. For what they are, compared to light panels, much cheaper. This is, I don't even know. But for what you're getting compared to what you just saw on the light panels, it's a bargain. comes with the diffuser, but also comes with a honeycomb grid if you need that. So with other companies, you pay extra for that. There's actually a different diffuser in here, so you're not paying extra for different kind of diffusies. But oh my God, setting this thing up is such a pain in the ass. So you gotta click these up and close it up and take the lid off. Put this on here. You can already see this is not a small light. And then you put the diffuser on. These are good lights. They are not for this small space. They are not RGB. This one is only daylight. And it's not convenient. It does work. Not outside in the rain necessarily, even though it's called light storm. It's a good trusted tool by many creators who all wish they didn't have to use it, which is why they should have spent the extra, I don't know, $1,000. I know it hurts. I know the pricing of light hurts because light's no fun if you're not a lighting guy. But this is a pain in the bum. I'm gonna put it away again and fast forward so you see how much of a pain in the bum it is to put it away again. Now let me show you how you install a soft panel, the brand new Cameo S2 IP. That's the whole thing. It does weigh a ton. It does have feet at the bottom. So look at this. You can just set it down. Little tip over here, light panels people. This is the Light Panels Gemini 2x1. Not quite as heavy as the Cameos, but no way to set this down safely for the panel. So I'm putting it down on the actual panel. Not a good idea. So if you're a lighting guy, you have a nice handle here, and you got to put it down because, you know, you're making yourself a coffee or something. You can put this down. And in the daily operation of a light like this, as a lighting guy, I imagine that comes in handy. So I'll show you how to set up a soft panel. It's got a big TV bolt on it, which in this case, I can take off. Gonna show you the Gemini in a second. So get yourself a stand with the TV bolt input. There's of course other ways to mount this, but I put the TV bolt that was supplied on it. Open it, flippity-doo-dah, power, relatively short cable that was supplied, and welcome to Cameo. And we're done. So versus the Lightstorm or versus a light from Light Panels that needs a softbox, holy crap, is that fast. If you're a lighting guy, you need to run on set and quickly change things, move things around. This is the shit. Okay. Now for a creator in the studio where you install it once, set and forget, well, I did have the Aperture right over there. So follow me. This is where people filming in the studio see what's being filmed. And the dome was here. I think I've got, and that was a small dome. I think I've got some pictures of that I'm going to show you. And now with the S4 IP, with the honeycomb grid installed right here, you can see not a problem at all, and better light. Now we have this installed with a clamp. There's also a safety metal string, and I also have some big ass zip ties. But if I didn't want the honeycomb, check this out how easy that is. No more honeycomb. Easy. I want the honeycomb. So bam, I've got the honeycomb back. And we ran this for 42 Gear Street here for loads of videos at like 24% or something with the honeycomb. And we had really beautiful lighting on the people sitting right here under these PIX bars, which were actually illuminating the back wall, giving the whole back wall together with the little 40-watt RGB spots a beautiful color splash. But the people here had exactly the right skin tone that they were supposed to have from, you know, a panel that wasn't really very high up in dimmage. I'm a lighting guy. I know words. Let me show you some mounting stuff. And then we're going to look at the menu of these brand new panels. So the TV bolt, I think that's what it's called, is one way to mount this. Having something that the bolt goes in, I have in my main studio, but for the truss here, what we're doing, we're just using a clamp, which I ordered for my 35mm truss for $6.99 at LTT Systems. Thank you, LTT, for yet again guiding me in the right direction. I would have ordered completely the wrong things. I know that the S4 is considerably heavier than the light panels Gemini 2x1. However, the light panels Gemini 2x1, what I'm doing right now, you wouldn't even be able to do, because it comes in a pole operated or yoke operated or blah, 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 different configurations, and you have to buy it that way, and then it is that way. And that's just stupid. I'm sorry, that's just stupid, okay? You know what it is? Stupid. So now I've got the clamp on here. Flip it around. And by the way, you could get different diffusers or intensifiers from Cameo, which easily slide into here, and a 60° and 30°, if I get this right, honeycomb. And the honeycomb really did a beautiful job here during our event. So this will go up here. I'm gonna die. For safety, I'll take the big ass metal security wire, which by the way is also from Adam Hall and Cameo. Thank you for bringing that, Richard. And now, peace of mind. What in the world's gonna happen? Not a lot. So how much installation pain in the ass was that? Not a lot. Try to do that with the aperture. There we go. And obviously, if I wanted to, we have all the different gels that you would ever want. And blackout. So installing a soft panel is, if you have the right rigging, obviously, considerably easier. Now looking at the Gemini that I've been using in the studio for years and really only took down twice, it is already pretty heavy. It's not, again, as heavy as the Cameos, but you also can't really set it down. And it has a fixed TV pole on it. And that is all I can do with it, which is kind of dumb now that I see the Cameos. This is a great panel. However, you can put honeycomb or something in the front. I cannot change this out easily. I know you can combine up to 4 of them for a massive panel, if you ever wanted that. It is not the IP65 that, well, it only locks on one side, that's kind of neat. It's not the IP65 that the Cameo has, meaning you cannot take this in the rain. And I don't know how many times you want this and they're all like, oh, you can take it in the rain. But you know what? That is a very cool feature if you're actually doing professional video, not the little funny videos we do here on YouTube. Unless, of course, they're outside. The thing that makes the light panel win a tiny bit is a freaking switch. However, the blackout switch also works. We have mains in and through, just like the other one. It's got 28 VDC in. If you probably from maybe, I know you can get V-mount attachments for this. It's got DMX in and out 5-pin. It's got Ethernet. It's got presets right here with direct buttons, which is nice. The other one has presets. You just click through them, or there's a user 1 and a user 2, and then 3 big knobs, pretty much just like the other panel. And this also has a thing for an extra attachment for Wi-Fi and USB, probably for updating. However, pretty much similar price range, not IP65. Now that I've played around with the IP4, IP, S4, S4 IP, companies and their names, the Cameo makes a much more rugged impression than this. Of course, with the rubber stuff on all the plugs, that's for the weatherproofiness. But in general, it's weird. This is a very professional panel, and it feels flimsy now compared to the Cameo, which is very strange. This, together with the RE Sky panel, which is almost twice as much, RE Sky panel is around $7,000 or $8,000, have been the big kahunas on the market. I know Aperture also has a soft panel in a similar price range. Haven't tried it. So of course you can get something like this from Aperture. But now that Cameo, who are known for stage lighting and colors and doing the fancy stuff, have decided to come on the pro film and video market, I'm thinking the other guys need to watch out. Okay, let's take a closer look at the back panel of the S2 IP. The S4 has the same ins and outs. It's all the same, just in different locations spread out over the light. So we got power in, and all of them have the rubber caps so that it is, weatherproof, which is one of the big things of these things. We have power out. You can chain several together. How many? Well, depends on, the power you need, but I'd be careful to, do 20 of them or whatever. So consult the manual. Then there's, let me open this here. There's DMX in, also under a rubber cap. Again, everything made so that it's weatherproof, which is pretty amazing. And that is 5-pin. That's very important to note, as I've learned. And then there's DMX out down here, also 5-pin. And the release is also rubberized, which is very nice. They really made sure that this can withstand harsh weather. Come on, you really want to make sure that you get the rubber caps in again. It's a little bit annoying, but you want to make sure that that's in. Then you've got network in for ARC and something else, which I've never used or probably never will. We'll see in the menu. And network out. So you can definitely chain your DMX, power, and network through. Now on the top, we have 23 to 36 volt, 4-pin battery input, because on the back here, there's an optional V-mount, double V-mount actually, that you can get. And this right here is actually the truss attachment. So this doesn't have to be here. It can look like this. This is a very nice and super sturdy thing where you go and put these clampies, as I call them, on, 2 of them. And then this whole thing can go on the back and you can mount it to a truss. Then of course you don't have a lot of wiggle room anymore, but then these go in here and like keys, they lock firmly. Ba-bang. Okay, battery, you have an optional V-mount. Up here is the Wi-Fi antenna for wireless DMX. And that leaves us looking at the menu. You've got 4 pushy buttons. This is the one that I use right now to just turn the light off, blackout. The light does not have an on-off button, so this is what I'm using currently. Okay. You've got dim if you're in CCT mode. I don't know really too much about all this stuff. I mean, I use lights at 5600 and that's it, because that's what I do. So all the fancy schmancy stuff, that's for you people to decide whether you need that or not. Getting this up to 100 is bright. During my YouTube event here, we ran this and the S4 IP at like 25%. One thing I haven't figured out is how do you make this go faster? Because it is kind of a pain in the ass to go forever. If you really want to ramp it up, you're going to stand here and try to get this up to 100. I'm trying to push it in and then no, that's not working. Escape. So someone help me to find out how that goes faster, or if it's even possible. I know you have very nice detailed control, but sometimes it's quite a bitch to actually go somewhere quickly. You got your Kelvins and you've got a tint, beautifully turns into the tiniest bit of green. Not that green back there, that's from a different spot. Maybe I should have turned that off. Would have been smart. Okay, now the spots are off. I'm sorry. So, here with the CCT button, you can actually go to predetermined Kelvins and zins. Really nice and yellowish, and easily back to 5600. If I go to user 2, that will actually be something that you program in. Right now it cycles through the different modes. So the different modes are, let's go back. CCT, which is what I would do, daylight and warms and stuff. HSI, it's just a different way of picking what you want. You've got your dim, you've got your hue, so you very slowly go through all the degrees of color, and then the saturation of how much you want that color. Direct LED, it's just, again, a different way to do the same thing. Red, green, blue, and white, I guess, with dim. And by next color, you change the screen. Color coordinates, never dealt with that, no idea what that is, I'm going to be honest. There's a Y in the next coordinate. Probably the same damn thing to get to different colors. Gels is a little bit easier, okay? So you just go through the different pre-programmed gels. Now, obviously, you don't have saturation and that stuff. You want to go to that other mode to do this. But if you quickly want to go to amber, there you go. You want to go to deep straw, Oklahoma yellow. These are probably words that lighting people would know. Me, I'm a YouTuber, what do I know? When do I need Mikkel blue? I need 5600. Ooh, Congo blue, my dog's name was Congo. Okay, so that's a mode. User color, you can probably predetermine something. And here are different fades, and you can completely determine the loops in color, in how long it takes, all that stuff that is in the menu somewhere. light simulation, you can simulate different lights, lamps, fires, candles, whatever, and you can pre-program that. This is probably the mode that you want to be in for most of the time. You can also click this and go through the modes right here. Either DMX, slave it or something, or easy remote. You can get for a couple $100 a little remote about this big, I think, with DMX 5-pin out, called the Unicorn from Cameo, to simply just have a remote and not have to be behind the light. Easy and relatively cost-effective way to control your S2 or S4 IP or other DMX things, I think. So then we have the menu where we have DMX address and modes. Standalone mode is what we just looked at, where you use the panel to do this. Setting up the easy remote, editing the user colors, editing the loop, as I said, that you can completely do. Here you got more settings for wireless, and that is wireless DMX. You can reverse the display, which is probably a good idea if it's upside down. When does the display turn off? Not sure what that is. It's how it's showing you that the signal failed. Dimmer curves, dimmer response, redshifts, pulse width modulation frequencies, calibration, auto lock, the fan, blah, 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 all the stuff you want. And then system info, which we don't really need to look at right now. So everything you want from a light, you can do right here, or through 18 mode protocol. DMX, ArtNet, which would be through network, or SACN, never heard of this, also through network. So if you're a mega lighting pro, you will see that you can do anything you want with this panel and control it any which way. For me, I'll control it through this. And then my only gripe is that this thing just should go up faster. Welcome to my Studio B. My YouTube friends know it, they love it. It's a good looking room. And in here, first we talk about this side, ambient lighting. For some depth, we have some IKEA lights coming from the ceiling. We did have to put one of these caliber spots, that is light panels, in here because that was an empty spot. But what you can see, you can't really see, we've got my logo colors, a nice purple, and then, why is the wall all scratched up? Nice purple, and then blue or turquoise on the sides here, left and right. They're the same spots from Cameo I have in Studio C, and this is the same pix bar that we have in Studio C, giving the wall a nice color splash. Whoa, that is bright. This has always been the really nice look in here. I love how it goes up in a V because of these little shelves. Always worked. But of course, the important thing is what lights up the people in front of the ambient lighting. And in this room, it's not as easy as putting up soft panel from Cameo. We have an Astra 6 by light panels. We have another Astra 6, and you can see it's a little bit more complicated because we have this stupid ass softbox again. We have a clamp up there, a Manfrotto magic arm, and it's a big contraption. We've got a 6 on the left, 6 on the right. These are those daylight? No, they are bicolor. Oh, cool. Okay. I can't remember. And here we've got the LS600 from Aperture. Come around with the little dome. You can see the little dome is quite a bit small. Actually, there's the Mini 2. I think the one I've got over there is a different one again. It's not the 600. It's a 300X. Why did I think I had the 600? I don't know. But this is the bicolor. So I could change the kelvins here. However, I don't because 56 is where it's at. But of course, with the soft panel from Cameo, you have any color you want. If you wanted to do color accents behind your actors or host or whatever, there's a myriad of things you can do with that, and DMX and all these things that are nice to have. But the convenience of having a thing that goes down, bam, plugs in, and you're ready to go without massive setup, can operate in the rain and all these things. It's a pretty damn competitive product, says the guy who spent a lot of money on a lot of other products from a lot of other companies. And that's it. That's my little exploration of the new Cameo lights for video professionals. Now, if you were looking for CRIs and lumen and at so and so much distance and a billion other technical things that I couldn't possibly cover in this video because I don't know about them, please go to the respective websites of the brands that I showed you, or I go to videodata.de where I buy my things and I compare there. They've got a lot of data on the website, and I might have potentially even shown you a couple of pages from there or not. But to me, none of that stuff matters too much, because once you get into that level of quality, they all deliver. The ARRI definitely delivers. The light panels definitely delivers. And now the Cameo delivers. The Aperture delivers as well. The right CRI and brightness and all that. Now, of course, there are differences in brightness, but please go to websites that give you all the stats and tables. It would completely explode a video like this if I went into details. And I also would look like a complete idiot because I don't know about them. I know about, this is easily mountable. Look how long it takes me to do this. This is annoying. This is not annoying. This is really my approach. And as someone who handles lights daily, setting up for product shots, taking it down, this is the stuff that matters to me. Now, does the IP65, it can operate in the rain, matter to me? You know what? We'll see. I now have lights, or technically I don't, because I thank you, Cameo, for loaning these to me for Gear Street. However, you're going to have to come and pry them from my cold, dead hands, because how could I let go of such an amazing product? So we're going to have to talk about that, because look at that. This is what makes this studio amazing. And let's take a look, before we go to animals at the end, from a couple of clips that we filmed at Gear Street. And you tell me if you like what you see or if you don't. The whole backsplash wall was done with the PIX bars right here, and the spots on the floor governed by a little €100 Cameo DMX doohickey over there that I bought. Thank you for the great customer service and explaining to me how that stuff works, Cameo. But the main light was all this puppy and the now green S2 IP. So thank you, Cameo. Thank you, Richard. Thanks to the whole team. We'll talk what I can continue to do for you so that I can keep those, because damn, they are cool. If you're in the market for a high-end light, at least consider Cameo as one of the companies you're now checking out. So, couple clips and then animals at the end.